What up, YouTube? R to the double E dash to the Z-O-N. Once again, yes, your boy coming at you finally. I know it's been a minute. I mean, well, it hasn't been a minute, but it's been a little bit too long for me to have taken to express my thoughts on this particular subject. But as everybody knows, the big N, Nintendo, came out and basically revealed their entire forecast, their plans for what they're going to do at E3. Their plan of attack, their plan of strategy, and just how they're going to get the attention of the gaming world back on them in a positive light, as opposed to the negative spin. I won't say it's been in a negative light. It's been more of a negative spin that the industry wants to give them. Anyways, my thoughts. It's mainly positive. Okay, I was a little upset when I first heard it. Went back through it through fresh eyes, fresh ears, listened to the reveal again, and saw what they were doing. And must say I came away with a much more positive reaction than negative. I still have one minor negative on this. First, I'm just going to tell you what they're going to do, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts, negative and positive. First off, Nintendo comes out and reveals that they are not going to have an official big press conference for the second straight year, as they have in many years in the past, and Sony and Microsoft do every year. Nintendo has opted out of that strategy to pursue a different strategy, kind of like what they did last year. Last year they had their E3 Nintendo Direct, which was amazing, but it wasn't a press conference. Now they're doing something called a Nintendo Digital event. Okay, they don't want to call it Nintendo Direct, which emphasizes the point that this must be something bigger and grander. So that is good in that respect. Let me take these off right quick because they're bothering the hell out of me. Also, they're going to be hosting the first ever Smash Brothers Invitational Tournament for 16 of the best players from around the globe to get it on the Smash Brothers Wii U. This is going to be happening live in the Nokia Theater during E3. So that's a big thing. That's another way they're having a big presence at E3. Now, as well as that, there's going to be the Smash Fest going on all over the country. And what this is they're basically part two of what they did last year with Best Buy. This time they're doing it with strictly Smash Brothers. So select Best Buys all around the country will have, during E3, demo kiosks of the Wii U set up with Smash Brothers for Wii U for anybody to come in and play and see what the game is like. Which is awesome. Good job, Nintendo. That's them reaching out to the consumer again and giving them the chance to play the games they want to play, while everybody else who's a Sony and Microsoft fan has to sit back and watch the games that they want to play. And then last but not least, they have the Nintendo Treehouse with Bill Trenton and all them going to be live streaming the entire E3. Not just during the digital event, but the entirety of E3 they will be broadcasting, live streaming, if you will, which is awesome. So what I'm seeing here is that Nintendo has opted out of a big-time press conference to pursue a strategy that involves them basically having a bigger and larger overall presence at E3. Now, here's the only negative I have with this. At first, I was very upset. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of had a knee-jerk reaction and was like, because I have a valid point in why I feel that they should still have a big-time press conference, a live press conference in front of the gaming media. It's been 6.5 months, more or less, since the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 launched. Okay? In those 6.5 months, they have diddly squat on their system for their fans to play and enjoy. Outside of ports of games that can be found on the current generation, or I'm sorry, the last generation systems of PS3 and 360, aside from ports that appear there and on the PC, they have very little in the way of big-time exclusives to draw the consumer to their system. So while their systems may be selling well financially as far as the system goes, when you look at their software rates, they're selling very, very low. They have no momentum as far as games go. And this eventually is going to factor into their sales going down for systems. Nintendo has all these great titles already under their belt. Keep in mind, Nintendo had a year head start. So Nintendo's got the Sonics, Nintendo's got the Zelda already there, Pikmin 3, Wonderful 101, Zombie U, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Super Mario Bros. U, New Super Mario 3D World, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. So many great titles already available. Not to mention eShop titles like NES Remix 1 and 2 and all the other great stuff in the indie games. Nintendo has it on lock when it comes to games. Let's not kid ourselves. So this would have been the perfect time for you to come with a big time, blow you out the box, live press conference in front of the gaming media and the rest of the world. Because one thing I have always said, and I do believe, perception is everything, man. In an industry like this, perception is everything. And the perception of Nintendo is very different from the reality of Nintendo. That's something that people don't understand. The way the general public thinks about Nintendo, the gaming media and all that think and talk about Nintendo is not really where Nintendo's at. Okay, but in the overall scheme of things, perception is huge. So for you to come out with a big time live press conference and show all these great games, show Smash Brothers, show and reveal, which we know you're going to do, the new Zelda. That alone right there destroys Sony and Microsoft. Show Monolith Soft's X with a release date. Show Bayonetta 2 with a release date. Show a new surprise, which Nintendo always does at E3. Be it a new Star Fox, a new F-Zero, a new Metroid, a new Wave Race, anything. Any one of these great franchises that we want to see come back. Maybe a new Mario Galaxy 3 makes an appearance. I don't know. But just the games alone that I mentioned right now that we know we are going to see, Sonic Boom is going to be there also. You would have came out with that press conference live, right there, and you would have shattered the vertebrae of Sony and Microsoft, and it would have been over. And then from the end of E3 till Christmas, guess what system receives a huge sales boost? Wii U, because you have the interest and the emotion of the gamers back. That's why I wanted a live press conference. Okay, that's the only negative that I find in this. Because when I really stopped to think about it, E3, Nintendo Direct last year for E3 was amazing, content-wise, game-wise. If you look at the press conferences for Sony and Microsoft, and you look at the game, content, and announcements that Nintendo made in their Nintendo Direct, there is no doubt who won E3. It's Nintendo. Last year, they won because of games like Super Mario 3D World, because of games like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, because of games like Smash Bros. And Mario Kart. They destroyed the competition. Now a digital event. I can see this being longer, more focused, better production value, as we saw from that last Mario Kart Direct. Did y'all see that? This is going to be epic, man. And to see Zelda U revealed, digitally streamed to all your fans, this is amazing. This is going to turn heads. But it's not just that. It's the fact that while that's going on, or right before that happens, you have the Smash Bros. Invitational Tournament just invading E3. You have the Nintendo Treehouse all over the place, live streaming from E3. And then you have Smash Fest going all over the country. Nintendo has basically decided, you know what, they want hardcore, they want us to take the gloves off, they want us to compete, which is something I've been seeing a lack of in Nintendo, the desire to compete, man. Nintendo has always been about competition. Nintendo, even as far as last generation with the Wii, didn't miss the opportunity to compete and go aggressive with their marketing, their advertising, and just everything, their presentations, their press conferences, all that good stuff. So to hear this is like, Nintendo, like, you really want us to take the gloves up? All right, man, we ain't just going to E3 physically. Okay, we going to be there. We going to do our live stream. We ain't going to do a press conference so y'all think, oh, Nintendo's dead in the water. They ain't doing nothing. Don't worry about it, because while we're doing our live stream and everybody's watching and getting blown away by our games and our announcements, which you lack on the PS4 and Xbox One, we're invading the rest of the country at Best Buys all over the place with Smash Brothers. We got the Smash Brothers Invitational Tournament with 16 of the best players in the globe happening right here at E3, taking center stage. And we got the Nintendo Treehouse all over the place, live streaming throughout the entire event. What is Sony and Microsoft doing? Their usual big money press conference with a lot of fillers, a lot of technical goofs on stage, and very little in the way of actual content, game announcements, and reveals. Do you guys really expect Sony to surprise you with something? I'll tell you what Sony's going to do. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it afterwards. They're going to bring probably a new Uncharted, which is going to be awesome, don't get me wrong. A new God of War probably, which will also be awesome. But those are expected. Talk to me when Sony surprises you with something that's exclusive for them and it's actually going to be good. Microsoft, even worse. They'll come with maybe, and this is being generous, maybe a new Gears of War. Maybe they try to revive that franchise that they decimated. And of course, you're going to get probably a release date and some crazy footage on Halo 56 or whatever it is. Some downloadable content for Forza. Killer Instinct 2.5. I mean, dude, what are they going to do? Where's their surprise? Where's their innovation? Yeah, Nintendo is known to do this at E3. Come with the big guns that's expected, and then hit them with surprises, man. So let's see what happens, man. I'll be honest, and I'll let you know after E3 who won, and I will not be fanboyish about this. But I can't help but sit here and be happy and be in a comfortable place when I see that Nintendo is actually being aggressive. I'm not gonna lie. I first heard this review, and I was very irritated because I was like, man, if you're not having a live press conference again, what is the point? That was my initial knee-jerk reaction. I was even talking to my wife about it. She was like, you might be right. I was like, you know what? I was kind of irritated about it. But the more I thought about it, like, man, Nintendo's actually going balls to the wall this year because they're not just worried about the presentation per se. That's going to be there in the form of the digital event. But they're invading E3 and the rest of the country with Smash Brothers and all this other great stuff for the fans, interactive, getting our hands on the product. Nintendo's doing it, man. God bless y'all. Stay gaming. Peace.